Hey, what's up and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, if you can't tell by the setup, we are doing my May TBR video plus my April reading wrap up all in one video today. I'm so sorry about my dog's feet, but like I literally can't move him. Like he'll freak out and he's old and he'll probably nip at me. And he's not mean. He's just gotten to the point where he's so old and he's been with me for 13 years that he'll like nip at me when he's annoyed. You know, and like I would too. Anyway, we will start with my May reading or my May TBR. You kind of already probably know that if you've been watching my vlogs, but if not, we will be going through it. For my May reading wrap up, that's gonna be at the end of this video. I read 2 books this month in April, and I'm reading another one, and I may or may not finish it in time, we'll see, but it's gonna go at the end of this video. So I might look the same in the same outfit because I'm going to do it now, but I also might look different. So we will see. But let's get into the May TBR. So for this TBR, I decided to challenge myself to read only new releases. I don't normally read any new releases. I normally read stuff like after it's been out. I don't really prioritize it because there's so many books that I want to read that have been out, but I'm constantly prioritizing those. Yes. Oh my. Yeah. So I just decided this month we could change it and I thought we could prioritize reading some new books this month. You know what you're doing at this point. He's literally looking me in my eye and doing this. I really want to participate in the Goodreads Choice Awards this year, where you vote for Tug, you're actually like driving me bonkers. Like stop it. I'm literally gonna like tuck your paws into it. There. Okay, maybe that'll fix this whole problem. Okay. I've never been able to really vote on any books. I normally read like a couple new releases a year, but I really wanted to prioritize it. And so after this month, I'm gonna try to read 1 or 2 new books a month, whether that's audiobook, whether that's yes, good boy. Now just lay right there. Yeah. He's looking at me like, bruh. Okay, sorry. I keep getting, like, that was really bothering me. So anyway, I'm just yipping and yapping at this point, so we can totally get into the video now. I have some physical books that I will show you, but I also want to pick a book or 2 on my Kindle to download and read as well. I could do it on my Kobo, but I feel like my Kindle will have more new releases, so we're gonna do it on my Kindle. So let's just get into what we're reading. Okay, the first book on our May go away, he thinks this is food. The first book on the May TBR this month is So Old, So Young. First of all, this cover is immediately catching my eye. It's so interesting. It's like at a restaurant and there's a wine glass with a dead fish in a fishbowl. Like that's so interesting. I'll read you a little bit of the blurb. 6 friends, 5 parties, 20 years. How did we get so old, so young? 5 parties over the course of 20 years bring 6 college friends together, exploring the ways we run from and cling to our friends in love, life, and death. For Marco and Mia, Sasha and Theo, and Richie and Adam, the one constant in life after college together has been change. New jobs, new cities, new spouses, new children. Through it all, one thing they thought would always stay the same is their friendship. But time has a way of breaking even the strongest of bonds and testing what we thought we knew. As Ginder, whoa, I said grinder, that's crazy. I'm dyslexic, guys, please. As Ginder wondrously weaves us through the lives of these characters, from the overcrowded apartment parties of their 20s to the destination weddings crippled by the high expectations and dreaded exes of their 30s, 40th birthday parties that ring in a new decade and new problems, and backyard barbecues with too many toddlers and not enough wine. So Old, So Young is a resonant, funny, and deeply moving novel about the growing pains of adulthood and the celebration of how love can shift, stumble, and grow into something bigger than we could ever have imagined. Like, that sounds so good. And I'm just obsessed with this cover. Oh, Coco Mellers. She wrote Blue Sisters. She has a blurb on the back. Yeah, so this is the first book. I got all of these new releases at Target, by the way. I know there's like a no shopping at Target thing, but on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles, they are so expensive, and I want to read and I want to grow my personal library without breaking the bank. So there is So Young, So Old. Oh, author of the People We Hate at the Wedding. I think I've heard of that. Oh, Ellen Hildebrand also has a blurb at the top. Anyway, this is the first book, So Young, So Old. The next book, I've been hearing such good things about it, and the YouTuber Wild Fern / Cozy Plant Lady that I watch, she is currently reading this right now on her vlogs, and I've just heard so much buzz about this, and that is Yesteryear. It's basically about this trad wife who gets transported back in time to like the 18-somethings to live the life that she is promoting, which just sounds like super interesting. At Target, apparently this is like some Target exclusive cover. There's like a little bullet in the cover right here, which is so sad. But yeah, I like how it's like really trippy on the bottom here. It's just really interesting. There's some blurbs on the back, but I will read the inside jacket. And I think this girl that in this is like an influencer, which honestly, like when I get married and stuff, like I could probably have trad wife. Like people would probably call me one because I do want to like grow my own vegetables and make sourdough and stuff. I don't know. I'm scared to be called a trad wife, but anyway. Natalie Heller Mills is a traditional American woman, a beautiful wife and mother who sells her pioneer lifestyle with raw milk and farm fresh eggs to her millions of social media followers. Her farmhouse is charmingly rustic, her husband a handsome cowboy, her 6 children, each more delightful than the last. So what if there are nannies and producers behind the scenes? Her kitchen is hiding industrial-grade fridges and ovens, and her husband is the heir to a political dynasty. What Natalie's followers don't know won't hurt them. And the angry women, the privileged Ivy League coastal elite haters who call her the anti-feminist iconoclast, they're sick with jealousy because Natalie isn't simply living the good life, she's building an empire. One morning, she wakes up in a life that isn't hers. Her home, her husband, her children, they're all familiar but wrong. Her kitchen is warmed by a sputtering fire rather than electricity. Her children are dirty and strange, and her soft-handed husband is suddenly a competent farmer. Carved into the wooden threshold is a date, 1855. Just yesterday, Natalie was curating photos of homemade jam for her Instagram, and now she's expected to haul firewood, hand-wash clothes until her fingers bleed. Has she become the unwitting star of a ruthless reality show? Could it really be time travel? Is she being tested by God, by Satan? When Natalie suffers a brutal injury in the woods, she realizes 2 things. This is not her beautiful life, and she must escape by any means possible. A gripping, electrifying novel that is darkly funny as it is frightening. Yesteryear is a gimlet-eyed look at tradition, fame, faith, and the grand performance of womanhood. I think that sounds so good. I definitely think, like, for me, I live in small town Iowa, and like everyone here has farm fresh eggs. Almost everyone here like makes their own bread and has like cattle that they get their own milk from and stuff. Like, I just live in that small country lifestyle, and like that's pretty normal, I would say, where I'm from. But to hear about like these big influencers that are like making their own jam and like posting about it, and like, you know, there are real people that have like these double lives, and it's really crazy. And so this is just going to be really interesting, I feel like, and I hope it makes me think about like why I want to like make my own jam and why I want to be on social media sharing my chickens and my farm fresh eggs and stuff, you know. Like I don't know, like I'm just really interested to see what this book will be like. So I can't wait to read this. I think this will be probably one of the first books I read. It's definitely one of the thicker books, so I kind of want to get this out of the way, but I've just heard so much buzz about this. I really, really, really want to read it. So that is Yesteryear. The next book we have is by Emma Straub, and it is American Fantasy. I picked this up solely because of the cover. I knew nothing about it. I didn't even realize that it was a romance, but TJR, Taylor Jenkins Reid, has a blurb on the back in Ann Patchett, who wrote Oh my goodness. Tom Lake, one of my favorite books, also has a blurb on the back. And like this cover, it's pretty short. And this cover is so cute. There's like a little cruise ship on the front. This is what the blurb says. What if your teenage fantasy came true after you were an adult? When the American fantasy cruise ship sets sail for a 4-day themed voyage, abroad are all 5 members of a famous 90s era boy band and 3,000 screaming women who have worshipped them since childhood. Feeling slightly out of place amid the crowd is Annie, newly divorced, 50 years old with an empty nest, and here on a lark to appease her sister. Yet when the lights come up and the idols of her youth begin to sing, something is unlocked. Call it memory, call it nostalgia, call it the chemical reaction of hormones, hope, and a sexual reawakening between the slushy alcoholic drinks, the familiar music, and the throngs of middle-aged women acting like lovesick teenagers. Annie finally reconnects to a long-submerged part of herself. By the time she meets one of the band members, not just a celebrity, but someone in need of a friend, she has accessed a new sense of possibility. In a smart and incisive book packed with laugh-out-loud reflections of fame, marriage, and middle age, Emma Straub delivers a richly textured story showing us that real passion is never truly lost, that what we love makes us who we are, and that deep meaning can sometimes be found in a sea of screaming fans. Like, I'm so interested. Like, is it a romance? Is it not? I think it's technically romance. I think the band member she ends up kind of having a fling with on this cruise, and I'm sure she ends up leaving the cruise being like, I'm so fine being 50 and divorced or whatever. But I don't know, I saw the cover and I was like, you're coming home with me, it's a new release. And after reading the blurb, it sounds really, really interesting. So I can't wait to read this one as well. I've never read anything by this author. I don't know if this is a debut book. I have to look into that. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. So that is book number 3 on the TBR, American Fantasy. This next book is probably going to come as no surprise since I loved Abby Jimenez's last book I read just for the summer, and that is The Night We Met. I got like this really shiny cover at Target with the sprayed edge. The fireworks are kind of giving 4th of July, and my wedding's around 4th of July, so I'm really excited to read this. It's also a pretty thick book. I don't really know much about the plot. I just really wanted to read another Emily Henry book after I read Just for the Summer, because that was honestly like a 6-star book for me. Like, it was so good, and I'm really interested to see what else she has to offer. I heard that her last book, what is it called? I don't remember, but I heard her book that came out last year wasn't that great. So I'm really hoping this one is good. I will read the little blurb. For Larissa, it came when choosing which guy to ride home with after a concert. That night, she had no idea she met the perfect man. She and Chris are great together, co-parenting and a slightly unhinged rescue Yorkie, sharing their favorite books and judging bread, pumpernickel for the win. For the first time, after all her side hustles to scrap by, things finally feel easy. But Chris isn't the one who drove Larissa home all those months ago. Chris is her boyfriend's best friend. All Chris wants is for Larissa to be happy. Standing by on the sidelines is slowly killing him, but making a move would destroy someone else. How can something that feels so right be absolutely impossible? So I don't know what any of that means. That's kind of like vague, but I'm guessing after a concert, someone drives her home and he's lets his best friend take the cake on that. But there's not really much to say. I mean, like I said, I just picked this book because I like Abby Jimenez's last read a lot. Kennedy Ryan, Emily Henry are blurbed on the back of this, Allie Hazelwood, Catherine Center, all blurbed on the back of this. She kind of has like such a following, and I'm just really excited to read this. I also feel like, is it a theme where in all of her books there's like a dog or something, or a pet? Is that a theme? Because in the last one, there was like that really ugly dog named like Kevin or something. Gosh, what was that dog's name? Kyle. I think it was Kyle. And in this one, there's like a unruly Yorkie. So we will see. Oh, also the inside cover is so pretty. I mean, look at that. Gorge. So can't wait to read this one as well. I'm thinking, I've been on a romance kick lately, but I'm thinking I'm going to try to not read this one right away. But if I'm starting to read some of these, especially like So Young, So Old, and Yesteryear are literary fictions, if I start reading those and I'm like, I'll probably jump in with this. So book number 4 is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. The 5th book on their TBR this month is The Odds of You by Kate Dramis. I picked this because I thought the cover was cute, and I'm not a sprayed edge gal, but I really, really liked this sprayed edge. It has like wisteria on the top, and I don't know, I just really, really liked this. So, and then I read the blurb. This book, when I first got it, I freaked out because I thought it was published in 2025, but it wasn't, so all good. But let me read the blurb. Sage Collins, Sage Collins knows a thing or two about odds. A year ago, she was a data analyst until she burned it all down to pursue her dream of becoming an author. When whirlwind bestseller and a struggling second book later, Sage isn't sure she'll ever write again. But then an accidental encounter with an irritating passenger. I hope my mic is still working. Is it still working? Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I freaked out there for a second. But then an accidental encounter with an irritating passenger on a flight leaves Sage in an unprecedented position. The passenger is Theo Sharp, an actor on the verge of his big break, and unfortunately the paparazzi have mistaken her for his girlfriend. Armed with his English charm and a smile that could tame oceans, Theo handles fame with ease, but Sage sees the cracks beneath. With fan-stirring drama and pressure mounting for her next book, Sage and Theo must both convince everyone, including themselves, that there's nothing between them. When Sage escapes to Scotland to clear her head and writes, she expects peace, not Theo Sharp crashing back into her life. But the mistake she runs from might just be the greatest miscalculation of her heart. Like, that's kind of cute. I love a fake dating situation. It can sometimes be kind of cringe for me, but this is just like a short, cute book. I love a cringy romance. I love a predictable romance. So this, also an English guy as her love interest. Hello, yes, please. Yes, please. So I'm really excited to read this. Again, this is kind of one of those books what if I get into a reading slump? I can pick this up. So that is book number 5 on the TBR. The last book on the TBR, which you've probably seen and heard me talk about, is which is Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez. First of all, the shiny purple sprayed edge. Again, I'm not a sprayed edge person, but this is really pretty. And this gorgeous cover. This is a romantasy. I'm pretty sure it's about this girl. I read the front of it before, but I'm pretty sure it's about this girl who, I think she's part of a royal family and they have a gift and she has to go on a quest to save her family with a knight, and I think she falls in love with him, or maybe the knight is, maybe it's a queer romance. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's a guy. I think she goes on this quest with this guy, try to save her family, and then I think there's a betrayal or something in there and it's magic. But yeah, this is a thing. Maybe I should read this one. No, I really want to read Yesteryear first. But this is a really thick romantasy. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. So I obviously got this a couple months ago because I think it was published in February. And I've been wanting to read it, but the fact that it's a new release, this is perfect for my TBR this month. This is only the 6th physical book I have. So, and I think I'm going to do 8 books this month. So yeah, one fantasy that's good for me, and it's romantasy, so it's got a little bit of something I'm gonna like. So yeah, the 6th one is Graceless Heart. I'm sure a lot of people have already heard about this and read it. I feel like a lot of people are really good about reading new releases right when they come out. I just am not. I just am not good at it. So yeah, so that is book number 6. Okay, so now we need to pick a couple books on my Kindle. I have some ideas of books I want to pick, so let me just read those off really fast. So the first book I'm thinking about is Good People by Patmina Sabat. I've heard really good things about it. I heard it's kind of giving God of the Woods-esque literary thriller. I loved God of the Woods, and that's getting such good reviews, so I'm really interested in reading that. Another book that I just recently found when I was looking at books to do for this video is More Than Enough by Anna Quindlen. I think it's a literary fiction about this girl who finds out her family's not who she thinks they are. Yeah, I'm not really sure a lot about it. I just really like the cover, so there's that. I really want to read Lena Dunham's Famesick memoir. I've heard it's really good, and like really unsettling. And I'm not a big nonfiction reader or a memoir reader, but I think I'd love to listen to like the audiobook of that. Into the Blue, I'm almost positive I'm going to read. I know Sarah Caroli just read that book and she gave it 5 stars. And that sounds, I know that I'm a romance girly, okay? And it's a romance and I don't know, like that just looks really, really good to me. Kin, I don't know much about that, but it was in a Goodreads, in a book of the month like book box recently, and the cover looked so cool. Almost Life is another one. Like there's been so many releases that I really want to read. The Story Might Save Your Life, I've also heard about that one. I'm really interested in that one. The Radiant Dark, Lady Tremaine. A Far-Flung Life sounds really interesting too. I just need to pick 2, so I just need to pick. Okay, I think I've made my decision. I think I'm gonna do Good People, More Than Enough, and Into the Blue. I think for sure, if I might add Lena Dunham's Famesick onto that, but I think I'm going to do Good People for sure, More Than Enough, and Into the Blue. That's 3 more, but I think I'm going to do More Than Enough on audiobook. I think it's like 8 hours. So yes, but I'm going to get Into the Blue and Good People on my Kindle. Yes. And my goal is to read as many as I can this month. So these are just books I really want to read. Obviously my TBR and Good People and Into the Blue and More Than Enough. Obviously, again, those are TBR books. I really want to read them, but I'm going to try to read as many new releases I can this month. So I'm going to be really pumping them out. I'm really going to be doing like Spotify audiobooks, any audiobooks I can get on Libby. I'm going to sign up for literally anything I can get on Kobo too, any daily deals on Kobo for new releases. I just really, really want to prioritize that this month. So I'm going to read as many as I can. I don't have my book journal or my reading journal in here, but my reading journal is going to be full. I actually still haven't made my May page yet. I think I'm going to do that this weekend because it'll be May 1st or 2nd. I think the 2nd is Saturday. So I think I might do that Sunday. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And in the next clip, we will be talking about my April TBR. So if this is the same clip, then I obviously didn't finish soul searching. But this month in April, I read 2 books. I read Dance of Thieves and I read The Project. I was in a really big reading slump this month. Painfully. I love reading, and the fact that I just wasn't feeling it was really sad to me. I read The Project first and then Dance of Thieves. I gave The Project, this is gonna kind of be very informal and quick. The Project I gave 2.5 stars. So I read Deep Cuts, which was 2.5 stars, and then I read Take My Name, which was 2.5 stars. And then the first book I read in April was The Project, which I also gave 2.5 stars. So that's 3 2.5 stars back to back. And that really, really put me in a slump. The Project was, I honestly didn't understand. I was is this supposed to be scary? Is this supposed to be, it was just so weird. It wasn't really giving, it was kind of giving more literary thriller, but not even. It was just so weird. And also the choices our main character made didn't make sense to me. What she decided to do at the end of this book, I was what brought you here? And then right after that, she was oh, I hate, she just went back. Basically, she was against these people this whole time. These people had this religious cult called The Project. She's against them the whole time. All of a sudden, she's with them, and then she's against them again. It was so weird, and we never really get an explanation of what happened to her sister. Or do we? No, I think we did actually, but it was very, very brief and vague. Not my favorite book I've ever read, to be honest. Obviously, I give it 2.5 stars. I would not recommend it. I got that at a thrift store because I don't read thrillers a lot. And this is why. That wasn't good. I wasn't scared. I don't know. It just wasn't good to me. Just wasn't good. And then I read Dance of Thieves. I did really like this book. I gave it 3.5 stars. Only because I was slumping so bad. It took me so long to get through that book. Also, it was 500 something pages and the font was tiny. The font was so small. And I did buy the second book. I really enjoyed it. It probably would have been like a 4 or 4.5 stars if I had just read it in like a few days like I normally do, or like a week even. But it took me, okay, I have my like Fable calendar of like what I read. My reading streak was 49 like days in a row. And after the project, I was like, I don't want to read anything. And then, so it took me 3 weeks to finish Dance of Thieves. And I enjoyed the book. Like, I really did enjoy the book. I just was so like I don't want to read. Da, da, da. And when I would read it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm really liking this. The middle was kind of slow, so I wouldn't necessarily say I loved it. Also, like, I thought them getting together in the beginning was really, really fast. And then, I don't know, this book's kind of old. So like, again, when I do reviews, like spoilers, like they also got together at the end of book 1. And I was kind of hoping like, oh, maybe we would drag it out more in book 2. Cause I do like, you know, that like forbidden thing, but like I liked all the characters. And like, it's called Dance of Thieves because it's these two people thieving from each other, and they're kind of dancing around each other. I will be finishing the series since it's only a duology, and I liked the first one enough where I will be reading the second one. I think if I read Dance of Thieves again, I would probably give it 4 or 4.5 stars. It's just that I was in a slump, and that was a book trying to get me out of a slump, and it didn't really work. And I'm reading Soul Searching. I literally only read it for like, I'm like 8% in. I'm like 30 pages in or something, and it's cute. I like it. I hope it's not super insta-lovey. Like, I hope the guy is like instantly fall in love with her. We'll see. I just kind of wanted for Soul Searching to have like I just wanted that cringy romance that will like cure my reading slump, you know. And we'll see if I finish it. If I do finish it, I'll just add it onto this clip and whatever. But yeah, that was my April reads. I did really bad, and I had really ambitious goals because in March I read 11 books. But when you read 3 2.5 star books, honestly, if you read 3-star books and lower, like back to back to back, it's a lot. Like, you're just like, I need a break, and that's exactly what I needed. I'm hoping these new release books are all going to be fire. Into the Blue, I've heard really good things about. Good People, I've heard really good things about. Yesteryear, I've heard good things about. I've heard like mixed reviews about Graceless Heart. Just if you're into fantasy or not, I think that's where it lies. Haven't heard anything about The Odds of You or American Fantasy. The Night We Met, I haven't heard anything about it either. And So Young, So Old, I think I've heard positive things about it. I haven't heard much buzz about it. But I'm also hoping this month, like, maybe I can read Cara Bastone's new book. I've never read one of her books, and I know she came out with one this month. So maybe I can read one of those. Maybe I could get to Kin and everything, you know? Like, I'm really going to try to hit it hard. So, okay, future Rachel here. It is currently May 1st. I finished Soul Searching yesterday on the last day of April. This is going to be a very quick update, just throwing it in at the end of this video. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was cute. I kind of thought that the whole plot of her parents' place getting taken and then not taken at the very end was really fast. I kind of wish we would maybe built on that more. It was a little insta-lovey on Brady's part, but I thought it was really cute. I think Lila Sage always does a good job, and I definitely think it's worth the read. I love the ghosts, talking to ghosts. I originally thought when I bought this that, I don't know why I thought Soul Searching meant aliens. I would love Lila Sage to write an alien romance, like something like that. But yeah, this was really good. And there was callback to her past series. And yeah, I think my favorite book of April was in fact Dance of Thieves. This and Dance of Thieves, I gave the same rating, but I enjoyed Dance of Thieves more. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. It is kind of going up a little late, but I hope that's okay. And yeah, let me know if you're reading any of these new release books that I talked about in this video. And comment down below what you think, if you've read any or if you're gonna read any. Comment down below, let me know. Me and my subscribers, we need to get to know each other. So comment down below something about yourself if you've made it to this point in the video. We need to start, we're a community. We need to start talking. Anyway, I have to go, but I will see you in the next video. Bye.